whiskers, you son of a bitch. Guess what? I'm gonna wear your pubic hair like a goddamn merkin on my goddamn face because I am the snuffleupagus of love. Woo! I've climbed the Golden Mountain and I've got geese. That's right, forest geese. Hardest geese in the world. The block is hot. The block is hot. We're back.
Yeah.
Someone died by the studio.
The block is hot, y'all. The block is hot.
That's what you get for doing drugs. Drugs are bad. Don't do them.
Oh. We're speculative. It's speculative. Maybe it was
I'm pretty sure it was drugs.
What if it was a weird, like, erotic asphyxiation thing? Could have been that.
Could have been love.
Yeah.
Killed by love.
Don't love.
Don't
It'll
love.
kill you.
Yeah, don't love. Don't do drugs. Anything else we should do? Not do.
Neurochemical con job. That's what it is. That's what love is.
Neurochemical con job sounds like an industrial band.
Doesn't it, though?
Yeah. Neuro-industrial. Sorry.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, introduce.
Hi, I'm Lita. I witnessed somebody dying outside. And I got to trade some clothes in earlier, which was fun, because Earth Day and stuff. Also, the Pope is dead, and we'll talk about that. Not really, because I don't really give a fuck. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Oh, now it's my turn?
Yeah.
Okay, it's my turn now. Okay, here we go. My name is Chris Kenworthy. I am here with my friends, the sexual snuffleupagus, Alita. I think if I was going to be a Sesame Street character, parody porn, I'd probably be like Cookie Monster, right? Like
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cookie Monster. Oh, ho, ho, ho. I eat all the buttholes. Ha, ha, be a Cookie Monster. Like the Nookie Monster. That'd be it. Yeah, just the cunnilingus-driven furball.
What do you think if Cookie Monster was like had a brookie in front of him? Would he get confused? Be like, I don't know what this is. This abomination.
I mean, I think he's pan when it comes to that. I mean,
he's pan dessert.
Yeah, he's pan dessert. He's probably pansexual. I'd venture to say Cookie Monster is probably pansexual, even though I shouldn't sexualize, Sesame Street too much.
I'm sure somebody has.
They have. Well, they've already.
Oh, I'm not looking it up.
Oh, 100%. There is definitely there's 100% of parody porn.
Muppet porn.
Yeah, there's definitely a parody or just a parody porn where they do like the thing where they like paint people. And they go like.
That would be
you ever seen the Simpsons ones?
No.
Dude, one of my line cooks at a restaurant in Purcellville. His name was Seamus. He was a little shithead, but his ex-girlfriend was a pseudo-famous porn star, and her most prestigious role was she played Marge Simpson in the Simpsons parody porn. Yep, that's a wild.
Did
wild
she do the
accolade.
voice mid-coitus?
I don't know, man. You know what? Strangely enough, we never looked out of morbid curiosity, but this was also about, I think, 10, 11 years ago, so it was kind of marginally before we were on our phones all the time, like looking shit up. It was still when you would just take people's word for things.
When you still had
Remember those times?
When it wasn't unlimited data.
Yep. Back in it was 9. I'll talk to you at 9:05 p.m. sir. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh yeah, because he's a little bit. He's a young buck.
Eddie Hoffman.
Yeah, Eddie Hoffman,
Yeah,
the young buck.
Yeah. Back in the day, on cell phones, after 9 o'clock, everything was free.
But you got charged out the wazoo.
Yeah.
You would get like very limited. Yeah, you know. Did you have? Was that a? What was your? Did you have? There was that hustle, but before that hustle, there was the. Remember when 1-800-COLLECT?
Oh yeah.
Was a thing, and they would let you get like 10 seconds free or whatever on your or something ridiculous. So you could just be like, "Mom, come pick me up at the mall right now. I'm with George F. and Paul. We sticking it in." We have testicle difficulties. Are we back? Okay.
Sorry, my ADHD, I can't.
All right, it's cool. Hey, so Eddie, in the meantime,
Yeah, what's good?
what's up, man? Tell us a little about yourself. What's going on? What brings you to these parts of the woods? Why you bring all these cops with you, man?
I mean, I got a reputation, you know. When they hear about me, they pull up, you know. They know shit's about to go down. I'm a real ass motherfucker, you know. Born and raised in DC, you know.
Are you lying, Eddie?
Not half lying. I shouldn't have said raised. Born in DC, you know. Born in these streets.
Where in DC were you born? Which hospital?
Sibley.
Sibley, where's that? Is that a white hospital?
Might be. I don't know.
I was born in Southeast. I was born in Greater Southeast Hospital in 1980. I will tell you this right now. If I was switched at birth, it would have been a great endeavor on somebody's behalf.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there. Actually, I've got some jokes about that I like to do when I'm in DC. And then I make, like, the joke is that Rayful Edmonds actually my father. So yeah, exactly. That's the response I got, except for the 3 black dudes who were born in DC that got it. They were like, yeah, and that was enough for me. That was the validation I needed as a African American enthusiast. So, from way back. You can't say the W word anymore, I was told. So yes, I had to come up with
wigger?
Yeah, I thought we could. I didn't know. I don't know. You tell me. You're the.
I mean,
I'm the full white.
I'm an older generation though, so like I don't know what like these YNs about, but
That's a really. Isn't that interesting that became a thing? YN. Do you know what we're talking about?
Oh, it just means young niggas.
No.
It's just online shortening of it.
Not hip to the lingo.
Your algorithm is not putting that in your feed.
No.
I'd advise any.
I get a lot of that.
Any Gen X person that has Instagram, just follow Lil Duval, and you'll figure stuff out because he'll make fun of it because he's older, but he'd be like, "Look
I
at
don't
this."
figure it out.
What?
Lita, actually, that's a question. So, like, I know, like, I watch, like some people I follow on the internet that are interesting, like Stale Cracker, the guy from Louisiana who cooks, like, large-scale crawfish boils. I put that on a cracker and eat it, dude. That's his tagline. I like Moses the Jeweler. I don't know if you're familiar with that guy or not.
Nah.
He's like he's a younger dude. He's probably in his mid-20s, but he trades and deals in, like, very expensive jewelry and watchwear and stuff. But he also he goes out on the street and gives out free shit, and he does good stuff for the community and whatnot. He's somebody I follow. And like there's a bunch of video game dudes. Who do you have anybody like that you keep up with?
I usually do.
Or is there anything that keeps coming up in your feed?
Like, here's the fucking news guy. I follow that guy. I
Okay.
do a lot. I like a lot of political stuff because like punk rock political.
Have you got the Satan's news or whatever? The dude that dresses
Yes.
up like Satan.
I do have that. I do follow that guy. I also follow the Bay Area Satanic Temple. Just because they have some pretty interesting stuff. They actually do a lot for their community, which is kind of cool.
That's a satanic church based out of the San Francisco Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I pray, like in my brain right now, I'm praying it's one of those like black churches, and they get hyphy as
Hallelujah.
They get hyphy as fuck to, you know, sit there like ghost riding the whip in front of the church. And shit. They're ghost riding hearses.
Our
in
dark
front of the
lord in the nether world.
Yeah. So yeah, it's usually punk rock shit or Satan.
Right. You don't get any like, you know, I don't know. Sometimes it just all depends. Like today, like because we did that, I put that video that said the block is hot. When I went outside again and I looked at my feed, it was all like hot boy stuff. Yeah, man. But you know what came up that was really impressive was it was Lil Wayne's son rapping over the Millie beat. It is definitely hereditary. Very, very skilled lyricist, and it was entertaining. You know, he's got a good wordplay. Lil Novi is his name.
Lil
Novi.
I'll be so happy when the Lil goes away from people's names.
I don't know. I kind of like Little. It's sort of like Ice. Remember when Ice? Everybody's name had Ice.
Yeah,
in
but
it?
it only ended up being 2 of them.
3.
There's more.
Who else?
Vanilla.
I don't even count that.
Passion of the Ice, man. Remember you guys get the? I think I sent it to both of y'all. Did I send you the Passion of the Ice thing too? Yeah. Did you guys get the Ye one? Do you see the Ye one I put up?
Nah.
It's Kanye West's face on the Hawk Tour girls.
God damn. Let's get right into Kanye.
I mean,
he just dropped a song called Cousin.
Jesus. Lord.
Oh, let's get there's Kanye West.
Wouldn't it be funny if he was just punking everybody this whole time? That's crazy. Like
I
he's
wouldn't
not
put it
actually
past
that like crazy at all. He's just like, watch this.
what's sort of like Marilyn Manson at the height of his Marilyn Manson-ness, you know, where he was like, just out there doing whatever. Anytime, if it could get people to jump, he would do it.
Yeah, but if you listen to any of his like interviews, he's like highly intelligent, whereas Kanye is not. Like
Or
it's
maybe,
like, or at least he
he's-
pretends to not be. I don't know.
I think he's like severely mentally ill,
Oh,
and he's being insulated by a lot of people that are making money off of him.
And he's fucking himself up with nitrous.
I don't
Like,
know.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
on the
that'll
hippie
kill your
crack.
brain
No,
cells.
he's got like this crazy doctor who's like jacked. covered in tattoos.
That's the worst sign.
Yeah. My man's huge, covered in tattoos, like up to the top of his head. Shit.
take that one to the face, bro.
And he just is giving Kanye like those canisters from the dentist of like laughing gas all day.
Yeah, that's not good.
My man's going crazy with it.
To be fair though, he still makes a killer beat. I mean, the dude's still musically talented.
If he never talked and he just put out albums, nobody would know. He would just be like, you would hear these stories in like 40 years, be like, Kanye was crazy. There's stories. There's I think Mike Judge did. It looks a lot like Beavis and Butthead, called Tales from the Tour Bus, and it's about like all kinds of people. Like George Jones apparently got so high on cocaine that he would fucking like talk in another voice, and he thought he had a friend named Duck that talked like Donald Duck. And one time he got all coked up in the back of his bus, and he had a tour bus driver stop, and he was like, "Get off!" And he kicked the duck off the bus, and he didn't talk like the duck for like an hour. And then he started crying, and he ran up to the fucking bus driver. He's like, "We gotta go pick up Duck," and he made him drive an hour back to the side of the road. And then they have James Brown on there. And one time he was doing the show, and he would fuck with everybody in the band and like take their drinks and shit. So Bootsy Collins was playing bass, and he had taken a solo cup and put wine and acid in it, and they were drinking it and sharing amongst like 4 or 5 people. And then James Brown walked up and just grabbed that shit and chugged all of it. And he was like, "Y'all don't drink if I don't drink." And then walked on stage and did the show. And they said he just stood there for like 15 minutes halfway through the show and just posed and just stood there and didn't move and didn't do anything. So, yeah, watch Tour Bus Tales. But Kanye,
back to dick sucking.
he reveals a past incestuous relationship with his male cousin. Apparently, he says that he got, from what I remember reading, because they behind a paywall on the Chicago Times, he went into his mom's room, and he said his dad had Playboys, and his mom had what he ended up finding was gay porn. And he started looking at it, and him and his cousin reenacted what they saw. And he said, "I ended up sucking my cousin's dick until I was 14.
Wow.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's a very,
But he says this in a song. It's not like he released a tweet.
Oh, I thought he released a tweet saying.
Well, afterwards, but in the song, that's why he had to address it.
Yeah. I have attractive cousins, and they're women, and I don't think I'd find myself in any position where there would be like, "Hey, you know what we should do? Let's watch some porn." Or I don't know about y'all. I mean,
No.
there's different strokes for different folks.
Absolutely not. Nope.
No.
You know what Lil Boosie had to say about this?
What's up?
It all makes sense.
Boozy, like
Lil Boosie is
wait, what are you talking about? No, he's just boozy now,
yeah,
man. Right?
But Boozy.
Dude, Boozy, he's another guy. Actually, that's one of my favorite people that comes up in my reels all the time.
He's smart.
He's fucking awesome, dude. That dude is just hilarious, and he's G'd up, and he don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah, he's definitely hood as shit, but he's like, we gotta buy land.
Yeah, well,
Like,
I like his style because he's like a grandpa.
yeah,
But he's still, he's still trill as fuck. Like he's in it.
he's an unk.
Yeah, he's beyond unk. Man. That's
Unc Filio.
Yeah. Uncle sit on my third knee. We're gonna play the rodeo. Yeehaw!
I saw a meme earlier, and it was like a dude that was obviously like rolling on ecstasy or Molly because he was like doing the tooth thing, and he had like wet, greasy face. And then a priest, and they were standing in the street, and some lady's like, "Oh no, it's an emergency. Someone watch my child." And like the priest is like, and then she looks to the dude that's obviously rolling and gives it to her, and then walks off.
That's fucking. I mean, You know, you gotta play the odds.
Yeah, dude. If anybody was, if there was ever a priest and he's like, "Yes, I'll watch your child," I'd be like, "No, the fuck you won't." I know how this story ends.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I went through parochial schooling for high school, and I don't know. Either I was not, maybe I was too assertive, or maybe I just wasn't hot enough. But I never attracted this any of the fathers there. And this is this is a pretty sweet tailpipe, bro. I mean,
any place, there's probably going to be a culture. There's probably like little like spots where that happens. It's not probably like everywhere, like because it seems like they moved.
Certainly isn't every church either.
Yeah. So I think inside of Catholicism, because you've talked about your church, and there's different versions of that. There's like, because I went to like a funeral at All Saints in Manassas, and it was like what you would think a conservative Catholic church would be. There was like,
yeah.
And then there's like missions and places that do outreach. I think there's a difference between an outreach church and just a church, like one of those like McLean Bible Church and shit.
Yeah, we were more of outreach type. Had a soup kitchen, but it's also like in Alexandria, where like, right nestled in the middle of the ghetto.
Yeah, I'd wonder.
Our Catholic church was much different.
Wonder if they have a Catholic church map of like where they actually like what places, like they were shipping, because they moved them around.
Yeah.
Like, and that was like the big controversy with like the overall body of the church where they got in trouble. The same thing happened to, who got the largest suit against them? It wasn't even the Catholic Church. The Mormons. That's why they changed their name from being like Mormon to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is because they wanted to get away. I guess they like got rid of all those people and they wanted to get away from it. But that's nuts. I'm sure like AME, like that's like a big black church. I'm sure they like, I think with the black church, it was always the preacher would sleep with your wife. That was always the thing that happened there.
Yeah, they like them grown and sexy.
I know my grandfather hated the priest that the preacher that used to come to our house, because my grandmother would make chicken for him, and he would get all fucking pissy. He'd be like, "I don't know why you make chicken for that nigga."
Oh man, I'm trying to think of. I went to Episcopalian church and Catholic church, and so I got to see. I never had any of the, never got the pleasure of that excitement. However, in youth group, I will tell you, youth group was a hell of a fucking excuse for a bunch of like kids to get together and smoke pot and finger bang. Dude, for real, man. We used to do Habitat for Humanity. Did you guys? I think we've talked about this before.
We did that. We did like it was mostly like soup kitchen type.
Yeah,
stuff.
We used to go out and give out. Like I was only in church for like 2 or 3 years, and we would give out food.
Yeah, man. That's what I think. I think all churches should do that, just all the time. It should just be like, where Chick-fil-A has failed us, churches should come through and just turn into just drive-throughs and like picnics.
Maybe I've thought about this before. Maybe it should be a requirement for churches to get that like non-profit thing that like a lot of the mega churches abuse.
Yeah,
these motherfuckers.
Yeah, like that. Those are the real like
Charlotte.
Anybody that's on TV. Like the worst is, and I think we all have heard this name before. Creflo Dollar.
Yes, dude.
He's a mega church preacher. His last name is Dollar.
His first name is Creflo. I mean, dude. Creflo Dollar. It's funny, man. That's a dude. That's a name. That's a name. When who is that? Who did I used to trip on this with? Like we were talking about like just how evangelical people like that are like that. They're so transparent. And that the ballsiest of all of them is definitely Creflo Dollar. He's got a private jet.
Oh, all of them do, dude.
Like, he's got his name. The name Creflo Dollar. That sounds like a bad guy on Captain Planet. You know what I mean? Like, Creflo Dollar is dumping toxic waste again into the river.
The worst that I've seen in terms of like the clips where he's like really brash about asking for money from his like television congregation is fucking Kenneth Copeland.
Oh,
he's the one that said he can't fly commercial because I don't want to be in the air in a tube with demons.
Yeah, and he like morphed into a demon.
Yeah, he got
like his like fingernails were long and shit. That motherfucker's crazy.
He's like, yes, we got the covenant of the blood.
I think obviously these people don't understand the entertainment value of flying commercial. All right, like there is a dude. I don't know. As a weirdo and a people watcher, there is no place that is more fun than airports and airplanes, man.
You definitely. I've never been on a flight where somebody got wild, and I'll see all these videos of people trying to open shit. I'm aching for somebody to stand up in that motherfucking plane and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna open this door." I'll be like, "Oh, I finally get to choke somebody fully unconscious." And just not let go until the U.S. Marshal come up and be like, "Hey, you can let go of him, sir."
Oh man, I like that's crazy. That one video of the lady that pulls the door, and then like that dude that's sitting there in the front seat, like sitting there, and he's like, "Man, I
shit my pants."
that motherfucker was like, "God damn it, I should have said I can't open the door. I know I should have said I can't raise my." I think they were like, "Can you hold your arms over your head for 10 seconds or something?" You're like, "No." I'd be like, nah, no. Hey, listen. After watching that video, I will not be a hero. I
will volunteer to sit beside that door because if somebody gets close to it, I will unleash the most unhellish uppercut. They in tight quarters. I'll fucking bang their head off the fucking baggage compartment.
George, George, this is like, this was demonstrated one night, Eddie and Lita. I think you know the story, Lita, or you might have even been there. Were you there? It was the night that we were all sitting up front of the Catamount. And all of a sudden, these two girls come running down the street screaming, "Help! Help!"
I wasn't there, but I've heard the story.
Oh my god! And then there's a young boy, not boy. He was a teenager. He was tall. He was big, and he's running after him. And I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "Yeah, live and let die." And George, of course, is like, dun dun dun, and like fucking cape came out of his collar and shit, and he starts running down the street, and I'm like, just because like I hate being emasculated, and I was like, I guess I'm gonna join him. So I came, and like George run him down on this side, and I figured he might try to run this way, so I ran up on the other side, and then we actually caught up to them. It was a fucking brisk run too, man. I was like, definitely like after like half of a Newport, and several one hitters. I'm like, man, I didn't even know what we would have done. I don't know what I would have done. Like, given things had gone any further, George, I would be like, yeah, I would just been like hype man. George, like, yeah, George, yeah, rear naked choke, motherfucker, yeah. Get your knees in him. Get your knees. Ladies, are you okay? Come sit on my third knee. No. No. So anyway, so then we catch up to them, and they're like, "No, we were just kidding." And I was like, "Oh boy." But yeah, but that describes that exact situation. If we were on a plane, they were like, "Hey, do you want to? Can you sit in this seat because you might need to be the hero?" I'd be like, man, I'm gonna leave this up to George and just pass on George. Me and Lito will be in the back, like drinking like Bloody Marys. Be like, oh, there goes George again, trying to be Steven Seagal and shit. Steven Seagal of the air.
Oh, dude, I should just learn the Steven Seagal fucking reggae song lyrics. So after I hip toss a person, I can just start singing
the Punani Nani.
My Punani. They'll be like, he started singing Steven Seagal, a weird reggae song right after he did it.
Lita, you don't have any wild flying stories?
No, not really.
No, you just
cute TSA guys.
Yeah. If you go at midnight, they're all there. Like if you fly the red eye, they're fucking hot as shit. I'm like, you mind just doing the pat down for me? I don't want to go through that machine.
We had an episode. It was one of the earlier episodes, and I don't think it's still on the. I can't find it.
I'll have to look.
Yeah. Well, I'll do it.
I might have to I have to actually look on there. I have to see like the first show and if it's still on there, and if I have to convert it over to video because they're all saved.
All right,
but
well, it was good. Well, Lita actually was on a flight, or on her way to a flight, and she called in from TSA from the checkpoint, and it was actually that was great. That was comic gold because she's like, dude, these guys are hot.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They were all GQ, like fucking tall, like. Crazy. I was like, what in the world is going on? And they were all like the kind of like attractive where they should be models. And it's like, am I being punked here?
They pulled Lita out of line, for the secondary check, and they were like, "Ma'am, you don't need to push back so hard."
Shut your fucking mouth.
Are you twerking?
Rather attractive.
No, that was funny. That was a funny one.
I always get an old dude named Earl that looked like he got fucking under ball sweat on his forehead. He's like, "You want to get patted down, brother?"
You've never had like an older couple like try to pick you up. Kelly did at one point in time, but you've never had like some weird like dudes hitting on you?
I mean,
or...
I have like had like people at a bar or whatever, like, approach me trying to buy me a drink or whatever, but never like a couple, which is weird because like I have definitely like I used to do this thing on my app where I would just kind of like look, engage, and see who is close because it'll show you distance, like miles, whatever.
Feet?
But now you have to like pay for like the majestic version of Field. So fuck that. I'm not paying $30 to look at people and swipe. That's fucked up. No thanks. So so now I just kind of like, just sit there and wait for somebody to approach me and buy me a drink. I'm like, oh, free drink.
Was it based off the app that they're coming up, or based off just
like
your
that, I mean, I
natural
look,
prowess?
I can like, sometimes I can like, hey, that person looks familiar, and then like, oh yeah, there he is right there, less than a mile. There he is. So yeah, that's usually how I go about my flirtatious ways if I want to, hook up with somebody. No, I'm just kidding. I don't hook up with anybody in an airport, but it's nice to get a free drink, before you fly.
I wonder,
but
is that a like thing?
What?
People hooking up in airports like that?
I don't know. I don't do it.
I mean, I don't either.
To each their own, I guess.
I bet you business people.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they always have
Yeah.
hotels right beside the fucking airport.
Yeah, I'm
That
sure.
motherfucker, there's probably a lot of pilots that are probably like getting with stewardesses.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
no,
have you ever heard of the Burger King bathroom? It's
Yeah.
better than the Mile High Club.
Right.
Have it your way.
Dude, yeah. You know, the last airport I was ever in that had something that I forgot that used to be a huge thing in the middle, like a glass box. The smoking lounge.
Yeah.
Miami was the last place I ever saw one.
They have it. They still have them in Florida. You just have to it's more outside now, but it is like a lounge.
Yeah, like I remember. I think it was
for
when
like certain members.
Members only.
Well, like the last one I saw, like that was like part of the airport was in Miami. I think when I went to Barbados, and it was just like a small ass room that just smelled like permanent cigarette smoke, and it was like all like it was open to the like the outside, but it had like glass on every other side, and the glass was fucking hazy as shit. It was all fucked up. So, dude, but yeah, that's a thing. Like we have a place in town called the Naughty Pine. It's the only place you can still smoke cigarettes.
He's been there.
Oh, that place is fucking.
Yeah, you've
That's
been there
Front
with us
Royal.
once.
Yeah.
I was like,
I've been there a few times.
the Naughty Pine is a very feral experience. It's a natural experience. It's a rustic experience. It's a
cigarette smoke in my hair.
It's not the fuck for me experience.
I mean, it has its moments. I think that just in my and I love Wendell and Holly and Tammy and everybody that works and owns the place. And Beth, and they're all amazing folks. But you have to be strong. You have to be of strong fortitude to survive with regularity in there, because if either you're gonna get caught up or you're gonna get caught. You know what I mean? Like it's just
I just know, like, all right, so this is what happened.
I love the place though.
The first time I went
once
there,
a month.
I went
Twice
there. It is definitely what it is, and it's a time capsule to an older time. I'll give it that. It's like it's the mid '80s and fucking like Milwaukee. So the smell of cigarettes. I guess I'm not used to it. And I used to smoke cigarettes, but when I go in there, it's just like automatically like, God damn, it sucks. Like in terms of like the air quality, right? And I've been in there when it's packed, and it has the air of like, oh, somebody's gonna get knifed, like automatically.
I mean,
when it's packed.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'd say maybe sporked, but I'm not. Somebody might get sporked up in there.
So the first time I went there, they got touch tunes, and you know how I love myself some touch tunes. I can pick any song out. So you can pick out songs to fuck with people, but I didn't pick a song to fuck with people. I picked a song that I liked. I picked Wu-Tang's Triumph, an anthem. And guess what happened?
It got turned off.
No, it didn't get turned off, but everybody stopped, and they was looking for who played it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was standing in line for a bathroom, and this young country person turns to me.
A YCP.
Turns and looks at me. He's like, yeah, a lot of the older people are racist, but not us younger people. And I was like, oh, I got to get the fuck out of here. They done sniffed out who played Wu-Tang.
Nah, it's changed though. The ownership's changed. They play a lot of they play a lot of like a newer. Like,
so the last time we went there was before Wendell took over, and she had put on Biggie Smalls and then Sublime, and somebody walked over and was like, "You just wasted your money," and fucking unplugged it. And
angry white.
And we were
bitch.
we were gone in 8 minutes.
I was like, that's why I don't want to eat here. Fucking shit. Yeah, I don't like that place just because of that lady. So that lady.
Yeah. I did learn the other day. I went there. I stopped very coincidentally, but we like to bring the comedians there that come out. Like Eddie did a show. We didn't make it after your show though, did we?
No, we didn't.
No, we were also like
Isaac's.
we were all stoned as hell. We didn't really have the chutzpah, if you will, to get there. But we did go there after Isaac's show. That was fun. But where were they going with this?
You went there the other day.
Oh yeah, I went there the other day, and I learned. You learn like sometimes you find out that genius doesn't necessarily mean book smart, and that's because I went up there and I was like, I stopped in there after work. I was like, I just wanted another waypoint before I went home, and I stopped in and had an iced tea and played some of the low risk casino there. The coin game that you put in the quarters and then it knocks the other quarters off. Hopefully.
Oh, the ledge game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The edging game, as I like to call it. There's two edging games you can play at the Pine. One, if you foot tap the dude 3 bar stools down. But I learned that he taught me. He was like, all right, look, press the button now, and he showed me the timing on it. He's like, now when you do that, it's gonna let the way that the machine is and the grain in the metal is gonna make your quarters lean forward, which means they're not gonna fall on top of anything or any blah blah. And I'm like, all right, so I listened to him and I do it, and he's like, and boom. Then he does this shit, like he does some like magic, he does some weird wizardry where he touches the machine in a couple places. It doesn't set off the alarm, but it knocks out more change. And he's like, just doing it. I'm like, he's teaching me how to do it, and I'm like following suit. And he's like, you know what, man? Nobody ever fucking listens to me. And I was like, dog, thank you so much. I tipped him $4 in quarters. And I made like $12 on it. It was great.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, man. So the low risk casino, I like the low risk casino about it. I also enjoy that a man's machismo can be measured there. A woman's machismo can also be measured there with the same barometer, and that's the punching machine.
Oh, I fucking hate the punching machine.
The punching machine is how you know how strong you are, everybody. It is it's a sanctioned machine. It is scientifically accurate. It is what the WBO uses to classify somebody's punch. No, I'm just kidding. But it is funny shit to watch because people get fucking serious and competitive.
Oh
as shit.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like
that's how fights start, man. They might as well call that the precursor. That's a fucking that motherfucker is fight foreplay.
Did you guys ever watch Bar Rescue?
Oh, I fucking love that.
Yeah,
show.
the dude that just comes into bars and is like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, he's a John Taffer. You remember, like Lita? I think we've talked about John Taffer before.
Yeah.
He's one of those older guys you find to be. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
You don't find him to be hot? I think I always feel like women. Like if I was a woman and into dudes, I think he'd be attractive.
He looked like Steven Seagal's brother.
Yeah.
He looks like that dude from Everybody Loves Raymond. Uh-oh, is it that time?
Did you order food?
I did.
Jesus Christ.
Man. All right, yeah, we open the door, dude. Just all you
can swivel.
You can just swivel around, dude. You only got to take your shit off. Yo, what's happening? Who's it? Who is it? Yeah, man. How you doing, dude? You want to come in and say hi?
Hi.
Yo, come on in, man. You got to come all the way in, man. You want a bubbler hit, dude?
Alright.
You want to hit the bubbler, dude?
No, that's fine.
No, man.
See ya.
All right, man. Take it easy, dude. That was.
Down there, if you want to record that.
What's up?
There's a lot of police stations.
Oh yeah.
The block is hot. What's your name, Holmes? Wilkin?
Yeah.
All right, Wilkin, man. They're Wilkin from DoorDash. Everybody's bringing us the Panda Express. Yeah, man. Take it easy, man.
Yo, shout out DoorDash. That's my employer too.
Oh shit, dude. Damn, wouldn't that be awesome if like I had put in the DoorDash and then all of a sudden Eddie's like, "Hey, I gotta go make a call real quick," and then came back with the DoorDash. Yeah, you DoorDash.
Yeah.
Do you have to do it in your own area, or people like get fights over like
No,
this is
you can
my
do it
this is my
anywhere.
zone?
Yo,
No,
will
it's
you put
not.
this over on the front of the table for me? Yeah, that's a stack right there, ain't it? That's a heavy ass parcel. Yeah, we getting down, man. That family meal, dog. Family meal, son. We ain't fronting none. No cap.
Yeah, but
Oh, God.
no, it's not like territorial like that. I'd be going all over Nova. I'm hitting all the areas. I'm looking like what's good. I'm hitting Fairfax, Sterling, Herndon.
Who tips the best?
Poor people for sure. Poor people, they just understand it more. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they're like, I appreciate you. You came all this way.
Yeah.
The worst is high schoolers.
Oh,
when
fuck.
I get an order, I'm like, all right, this might be fine. And then I see like it's like for a high school, I'm like, oh, these motherfuckers, it's gonna be like 0 every time,
Really?
or like $1. Yeah.
You
Sometimes
can't
they'll
screen. You
round
can't
up
screen it.
To some extent, like it shows you like how much it is, but like
It doesn't tell you how much they tip.
yeah,
That's
sometimes it'll be
bullshit,
part of like
man.
a double order too, where it'll be wrapped with a better one that's like also nearby. So you're like, all right, like it's a decent offer, So I'll do the 2, it'll be fine. They're near each other, kind of shit like that. And every time it's like this is awful. Like that second order, motherfuckers ain't tipping or something.
So what is a it's like what's a day of a DoorDasher look like professionally? Like, so you get like, do you just do whenever, right? You can just come and go as you please.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's you don't have to sign. You don't have to say like you don't have to like schedule yourself or.
I mean, you can for sure. You can like pre-reserve or like schedule yourself for the areas like 6 days out, and every day, but like they get taken up right when they come out. And then like I'm normally just day of. I'm like, all right, what's area's hot? I'm going there. I'm working there. I'll go to this area, that area, this area.
Okay.
It's moving around. But yeah, you can definitely like pre-schedule, and probably that's like better for some people. They know like, all right, this is the best area, and I know if I schedule myself, I'll have this all day. I won't have to go anywhere else.
Dude. So how does DoorDash even work? Is there like an hour, like some type of pay rate, or is it all tips?
It's all tips, and it's like DoorDash pays you for the distance you go, like a certain amount. I don't know the calculation. Shit doesn't make any fucking sense. Like it's like whatever they feel like at that day. They're like, all right, you can have it for this, but not for this.
The DoorDash
$7.50 in a bucket of chicken.
Do DoorDash like beef with like Grubhub? Do you guys have like Mexican standoffs on a corner looking at Uber Eats?
No, not really. No, I haven't had any experience like that.
Can you double dip? Like, can you do both? Can you be
Motherfuckers
Grubhub or-
do. I'm not smart enough. I'm like,
You have to have multiple phones for that.
no, you can use the
No.
same phone.
Oh, really?
You can just be switching apps. It's not
Alright.
like they like lock out each other or some shit. It's not like there's like a virus. Like one can't exist.
Oh man, I saw another one of the weird reels that's come up in my algorithm. It's like guys in like China and India, and they have like 8 phones set up in their car, and they're like just doing like that's all they're doing is like they're Grubhubbing, they're Ubering, they're doing like 3 different things. They're doing call center stuff from the car, and that like and to speak volumes. Like I recently had to deal with a call center because of some medication issue I had. And that was like, dude, the lack of the call, there was a language barrier, and the quality of the call itself. That I feel like that I was on speakerphone in somebody's car, man. Like it was horrible. I don't know. Have you had any recent like?
Call centers? No, if I have to call somebody, I don't.
That's it.
I just don't like if I can't be sent like in an email or like a text message. I can't do it. Like I won't do it at all. I like my new health thing, the My Chart, whatever.
Oh yeah,
I can like email my doctors now, and that's awesome because I don't fucking like calling anybody on the phone. I hate that shit.
Yeah, I find that the younger doctors, like my old doctor before he retired, he'd never like use any of that shit. He'd barely look at it. My new doctor, the primary care, she'd be looking at that shit like 2 times a day. I'll be like, holy shit, she answered my emails so quickly.
It's awesome. You know what? Like I won't order from a place if I have to call. If it's got an online like ordering
wild.
thing, yep. I'll
Yeah, I
take you
totally
there.
like. I picked up food that one time. I picked up food for you, and like I thought you had already like called in an order, and then I didn't even think about it for a second. You were like, I got to use my phone to order.
Yeah, I had to like use the app, like online ordering.
So but DoorDash does more than just food, man. So you have like you can do. They have like I was just looking on. There's Target, CVS.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
I think not. Yeah, so they're
that
like
shit's fucked up. All right.
Anybody ever like?
This is something I've been thinking about a while, and I think I should start spreading it. If I'm doing an order for you, that shit's got to have like different scales per item. You know, like a thing of Kraft cheese should not be worth as much as a big like 12-pack of water. You know,
Yeah.
that's fucked up. That I got to carry that 3 floors up, and it count like.
It counts
They
the
don't-
same.
Yeah, like I feel like it's like one item's one item, you know. They
Snickers
don't like
bar.
exactly. They don't like consider what are you picking up though.
Have you ever picked up anything for somebody and you're like, yo, these people fucking suck?
Yeah.
It's like a Snickers bar and a Mountain Dew.
or if it's even so you get an order, it's like Shape magazine, cucumber, baby oil.
Oh, I get
Like,
damn
dildos.
Do you ever get like weird like condom orders, like people like late night, like 3 o'clock in the morning?
No, I be getting like pregnancy test orders though.
Oh,
That's a fun one. 'Cause
Plan,
when it's,
plan B.
Hey, man.
I even got a plan B. I don't think they allow that, but I would. This year on Valentine's Day, I had to pick up Astroglide with people's like
Yes.
fucking groceries.
I need Astroglide, a dozen roses, and some strawberries.
No, it was like mini donuts.
You better gotten a 5-star fucking joint for that one,
Dude, I hope so. I don't fucking know.
Like
I wish they
whipped
would tell
cream.
you which order gave you which rating.
Yeah.
Because like it's just like it's
Oh, it's
you got, like-
anonymous.
you got like 3. Yeah. It's
Oh, I'm gonna
fucked
be
up.
honest now. I've been 5-starring everybody. 'Cause I'm like, just like, oh yeah, they're gonna see this shit and they're gonna be like, yo, fuck that guy on the next order. Okay, well, fuck that, dude.
Yeah. No. I don't know nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess some motherfuckers might remember addresses. I don't. I'm fucking because I'll be pulling up to the same place. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker.
you got to get a
remember
book
you.
and write it down.
I know. I really do.
Blacklist
Journal of
people.
it.
Yeah, their personal blacklist.
Yeah.
Yo, I bought him TGI Fridays. He got the ribs and everything. I
Yesterday-
can smell them. This
Bro,
motherfucker tipped
yesterday-
me $2.
Yesterday, motherfuckers got food, Red Lobster. I was like, oh my god, my car stunk for like 2 hours after. I was like, because it's like the first time I ever picked up Red Lobster, and I was like, this is
Who
fucked
orders
up.
seafood?
Red Lobster.
Yeah,
I think
dude.
Red-
I want seafood. Not fresh. Maybe
Yeah.
a half an hour,
I
45
want
minutes.
my crab lips to be lukewarm.
Yeah,
I mean, on top of that, aside from that, like, let's just be real. Like, why would you not want to be in the ambiance of a Red Lobster,
Yeah.
I
dude?
know.
They got nets on the walls. They got the buoys. They got the fucking nice, like, the
Red
the-
Lobster's fine
it's-
and all, but
they had
it,
fucking lobsters. They had live.
Yeah, they have
lobsters in
live
the
lobsters
tank.
in there. Yeah, why wouldn't you want to
I
be
want to
there?
sit by that. You know, the place was dead. He could have pulled up easily.
Yeah, it always is. They have ample seating. It's not as dead. They have ample seating. They also, you know, I love it too because I love the motif of it. It's an anonymous place in Maine. They're like, you're in Maine. They're like, what part? They're like, don't worry about it. But you're there.
I mean, I like the Chesapeake Bay Seafood House.
Chesapeake Bay Seafood House. Get all the seafood you can eat. I remember that commercial like a
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Bro, I remember one from my childhood down in OC, Phillips Seafood Restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was so fucking good. Let me.
I know Virginia Beach and Williamsburg, they got the places called Captain George's,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all you can eat seafood, but it's not like that bullshit all you can eat seafood. It's like, I think it's like how Vegas is. It's like $40 to go in. Or
Well, I think
whatever.
it's probably like 65 or 70
Yeah.
now.
But they have a gigantic. It's the most crab legs I've seen in one place at one time, outside of a crab boat. Like,
Well, you know the 3-6 Mafia and the Sipping on Some Scissors song. They have the lyric, I ate so much scrimp I got iodine poisoning. I accomplished that feat when this is a true story with Kelly, you can vouch for it. It was we went to the Phillips flagship back when they still had one in DC, and this is back when I used to work out and run all the time, and I was like did everything I could to eat as much as I could. So I only ate in the morning. I ran, I went to the gym, I smoked, everything, and I was like, yes, I'm prepared to go in there and do damage, and I did, mostly to my pancreas. And it was, we went in and I just sat there, just kept piling up shrimp after crab leg and crab cake, and they had ribs too. I ate some ribs, dude. Oh man, I ate everything, and I ate so much, like I distended out like at least 12 inches. And and so then afterwards, Kelly, this was back when we lived in Arlington, so we were driving, we were like, oh, let's go to the Cowboy Cafe and have a drink after, and I was like, all right. And as we drove, it was expanding in my stomach, man. It was, and then we got there, and I had, Kelly went inside, and I had to take a 2-hour nap in the car because I had gotten the iodine poisoning, and I will spare the rest of the story.
Oh, so what happens with iodine poison?
You basically just get like
violent shits.
Yes, like I mean, it is like prison rape. It's like riding on Tina Marie's stick shift in her Windstar. It's
what story is this? What you doing a Windstar?
Tina has a manual Windstar.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
shit.
Yeah, it's gangster as fuck, man. I love manual vans, dude. I think it's cool because you got it's like the long stick shift, man. That big old Dikembe Mutombo motherfucker.
Dude, I totally. Dude, remember Astros?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
Chevy Astros. Yeah.
They were like a little 18 van.
Yeah.
What was the one that Ford had that looked like a fucking arrow or a transformer?
Ford?
Yeah, they had some like fucking weird looking. I gotta look it up now.
Lita, did you ever drive a van?
My dad had a Dodge Ram.
Okay.
Ram, a blue
Oh,
one, a
tight,
big
man.
one.
Like the Tony Maselli joint?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You know what I'm talking about, Tony Maselli? Who's the boss?
It was baby blue.
That's awesome, man.
And it had white interior and like a white shaggy rug.
Fuck yeah.
Back in the 80s.
The Ford Astro Star.
Oh yes.
Ford Astrostar, yes, that is the you see a lot of those on the sex offender registry.
100%.
Yeah.
Aerostar.
Aerostar and Astro and the GMC Safari.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one. That looks a little bit molesty, but it also looks like you could be an electrician on the side.
That's definitely a missionary sex van. I don't know what that means, but that's how I feel about it. I used to have a Honda Odyssey. It was a 2012. It was a 2002 or 2003 Honda Odyssey. It was badass, man. It had a big engine. It had it has a 3.6 liter dual overhead joint VTEC, all that stuff. And I only know this because it got hit by a train. Got hit by a train. Yeah, me and my sous chef, he was staying the night at my house, and I decided I was gonna have a bunch of drinks. So we were driving home, and you know the turn on Happy Creek when you're going from if you're on Happy Creek and you're going towards town from Howellsville and from Dismal Hollow in that area. Yeah, you know where the train tracks are. Well, they now have they have lines painted on there. Yeah, they didn't have lines painted on it before, so I wake up to the car being like, bow, 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 bow. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And my sous chef was like, dude, I think I went off the road. And I'm like, dude, we're on the train track. I was like, oh, fuck, man. All 4 tires had popped. And yep. And then it was as soon as we come to the realization we've done the assessment of walking around the van, all of a sudden you're choo, choo.
Motherfucking Wabash Cannonball that ass.
But I will say, man, the police got there quick as shit. And it took 4 jurisdictions. There was 4 jurisdictions. There was Warren County Sheriffs, Front Royal Town Police, Virginia State Police, and Norfolk Southern have their own police force.
Holy shit.
You got tracked by the railroad cops.
Man, all of them. And yeah, and so I was pretty drunk, and this is back in my more asshole-ish days, and I was going off on my sous chef, who at that point in time I apologize to Jordan for being a dick, and in general, not just that night. But I'm cussing him out, and the cop's like, hey man, you gotta calm down. I was like, motherfucker, you gotta calm down. And he was like, I have these calm down bracelets, come here. And put me in the calm down bracelets, and then it made me sit there and watch my beloved Honda Odyssey, aka the mothership, I love that van. I took out the middle seats and put in like a coffee table and a rug, and it was just really like quaint. When I worked at this country club in River Creek Country Club, I called it my office. That's where I'd go for my break. I'd like just go in there, turn on the AC. It had a fucking DVD player, and it was fucking fantastic. And yeah, and I got to sit there, and it was like in slow motion watching this train poof, hit it, and like it wasn't like it wasn't as dramatic as you would think. Like it wasn't like Back to the Future with an explosion and shit. It was just like it just hit it, and you're just like the sheer inertia and like metal on metal and everything. Yeah, and so it didn't look like it like got phased, but then I had to go to the impound to get all my stuff out of it that was still in the train in the van because we had like as soon as we heard the thing, I was like, "Yo, grab what's important and get the fuck out of here," and we did. But yeah, so I had to go back, and you know what I did though to send her off. I mean, she looked like she got the Molly Wop, she got Ike Turnered. So I turned on the van because there was a full tank of gas in it. And I turned it on, and it was I think it was Memorial Day weekend or something like that. It was a holiday weekend of some sort, or they weren't going to be back until Monday, and it was a Saturday. And I turned on the van, and I put in Guns N' Roses' Use Your Illusion 2, put it on repeat, and let her go off into the sunset like that. And it was a very fitting farewell to the mothership, but. Yeah, it was crazy to sit there and watch. Like, it's like, when you see something like that happen,
Yeah,
you ever seen anything weird like that happen? Like,
I've seen a bunch of people get knocked out and like whether it was like skateboarding or like doing something stupid. The worst one I ever saw where it like I had that surreal feeling was there was this dude, we were cleaning these floors at Nissan Pavilion, and he was like running, and he was like, "I'm gonna slide," and he started sliding, and that motherfucker like kicked air and it went airborne, and just his head hit the ground, and he half slid underneath the fryer in the fucking kitchen and shit, and like then he started having exorcist seizures, and he like his arms locked up, and he started banging his own head off the fucking floor. So we had to grab him. Brian Morton was there, and fucking then he woke up and started like being like, "Mom, I want to smoke weed," right in front of the EMTs and shit. So, and he didn't remember any of that shit. So his mom found out how he smoked weed. So, but yeah, like that, like when he was laying there was a split second before he started having the seizures and smacking his own head on a concrete floor, where it was like the first time he did it, it was almost like where you have that like awkward laugh where you're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And he did it like 3 more times, and I was like, "Holy fucking, what the fuck?"
I was just trying to check the chat real quick, but my phone decided to go louder than expected.
The old white man stigma of like sudden loud phone.
So
God, my dad did that the other day while I was trying to fucking listen to music in the car, and he was like, had it to his ear really loud. I'm like,
"What are you doing?
Excuse the fuck out of me."
So what ended up like what? So like,
oh, they gurneyed that motherfucker out of there into an ambulance, and he wouldn't work for like 3 days, and he had a severe concussion. Apparently, he played baseball and been hit in the head like 3 or 4 times, and having concussions, like knocked totally out. And yeah, they were like, "You can't take any more hits to the head," is what they told us. But yeah, I've seen people knocked out, but I've never seen anybody go into a seizure where they're like smacking their like body on the ground. I've seen like people just lock up or like make the snoring sound where they're like, "Ah."
Dude, the same sous chef that I was talking about, yes, he actually had a diabetic seizure a couple times in front of me. One time he had a knife in his hand. And that was scary as shit, dude. But yeah, but you like, Lita, have you ever seen anything like crazy car accident?
No, not really.
Roller coaster wreck?
No, I've never. I've seen
pegging prolapse.
No, I've seen dead bodies. Like I've seen a few. Like I've seen my grandmother, my grandfather. I saw somebody on the street in Alexandria. I think he was a homeless person. And then when my aunt used to work in like the bottom basement part of the hospital where they store the bodies, and she would go down there, and we would go visit her every now and then, and I saw bodies then, but I've never seen something happen, like see somebody expire right in front of me.
Eddie.
Or like weird shit in general.
Eddie's like, "I'm too young."
Eddie. Well, while you're doing DoorDash, have you ever like had anybody like show up and they like just are dripping blood from their face, or like have a weird like a knife sticking out of their like arm, or
No.
Have you ever
That
had
would be
anybody
fun.
give you the classic delivery tip, where they just show up butt naked at the front door?
I wish. Every day I go out hoping. That's really all I want.
My dad got
He
one.
pops a Viagra before every shift. Just they're like, hey, it's that guy with the boner again.
Hey,
Dude, when they had that recession with Bush, my dad got laid off from his job at Hertz, and he worked at Domino's for like 4 or 5 months. And he definitely, two things happened. He's like, he wouldn't deliver to Georgetown South anymore because he almost got robbed. And he was like, nah, not going there no more. And then he was like, in Cornerstone, some lady opened the apartment door and was butt-ass naked. And he was like, came home and he was like, yo, I got to find a new job.
Yeah, so nobody's coming to the door naked? No, dudes, chicks, nothing?
no.
Somebody
I
came to my
wish.
door almost naked.
Hey.
Oh, the
The
neighbor.
dude the neighbor. So a couple of episodes ago, because George does that introduction.
Yeah.
He did it, and I guess they were having a hard time putting their kid to bed, and he just it was Phil was on the show, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, it was Phil. Phil's, he's sitting there, and like dude opened the door, and he was like in his like tighty whities, just like very large gentleman, and he's like, there's a baby trying to go sleep.
It's like 7 o'clock in the afternoon.
It was the
Yeah.
least.
Say
It was
afternoon because I'm a night owl, but it was light outside.
It was the least pleasant of our
Door openings.
door opening episodes. on the
Usually it's
show.
somebody
We were all
greeting us.
shocked.
Yeah, I was like, food this
We're
early?
like-
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
well.
man,
So the Pope died.
the Pope. He's a nice guy, the Pope.
Hey.
So the Pope died, and this is
R.I.P. Papa.
you hear about like like the last Pope died, the other one like quit. But this is the quickest I've ever seen a conspiracy theory about why the Pope died. Within like 2 hours, somebody was like, you know who he met with right before he died? J.D. Vance. He probably killed him. I was like, yeah. I think that dude was 88 years old. Like,
It was bound to happen.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of other good. That's a pretty good one. I think the Kanye West sucking a dick is definitely going to be taking is going to definitely be stealing the thunder from the Pope's death. I kid you not, just because of the society we live in. Because if you ask me what's more interesting, personally, I think it's more interesting that Kanye West was sucking a dick because everybody dies, right?
Yeah.
But not everybody sucks a dick. All right, that's my inspirational
Very
quote.
true.
But how many
true.
people suck dicks?
Their
How
cousins'
good are the
dicks.
Pope?
How many people?
Well, that
suck-
Pope was he was a
It's a woman.
bouncer at a nightclub before he became a priest and went into like the clergy and became the Pope. So yeah, that Pope definitely got his dick sucked once.
Oh yeah.
So
as
that's probably why he was because from what I've understood, he was like cooler on social issues than any other Pope.
He's very don't hurt people, and that's it.
Hey, it's
Like-
the Pope.
Yeah.
Hey, don't hurt the people.
I know
It's
that.
me, the Pope. I sound like Mario.
Be compassionate.
I know.
Have empathy for others.
Somebody doesn't have empathy. That lady, Troutmouth, Marjorie Taylor
Trout-
Greene.
Oh, fuck her
Within like
and her
5
horse
minutes,
face.
yeah, within 5 minutes of him dying, she put out something about like evil, blah blah blah. Like I guess like
Anything that she says is completely fucking irrelevant anyway.
I
She's-
keep hoping her and that black lady, I don't know her name, but the congresswoman that told her she looked like a blonde bimbo or some shit. I keep hoping it's gonna turn like
Maxine Waters.
No. It's a younger chick. Like it's a girl that actually could fuck her up. Like Maxine Waters, like she's old, man. She's like gonna grandma fall. Like this lady is young as shit. She will fucking grab that bitch by the hair and punch her in the fucking nose.
Oh man,
And
I'd love to see that.
oh yeah, I keep hoping there's gonna be a fucking like South Korean parliament moment and fucking somebody's gonna jump kick
I'm
somebody.
waiting for that to happen. Like,
I think we're about
waiting.
10 years off from it. Either that or they'll just let a computer take over and run everything. It'll be like, y'all got to go. Terminator. Like, have y'all ever heard of Skynet? Now you can with y'all are dead.
I think by that point in time, just all politicians are going to be mixed martial artists, so we could just have like a fucking Mortal Kombat style tournament to get like through things. I mean, do you think filibusters are interesting now? Wait till they're slobber knockers. You know,
Dude, I know that like they've been talking a lot about like the AI and like how it's started to take over and it's going to cost people jobs, and obviously there's going to be like a social rearrangement. But if we were faced with like some technocracy where it's computers running everything, would you rather have the world of Terminator, which like really sucks? You're like running around like almost like vermin to the computer system, or the Matrix? At least the Matrix, like you can, if you don't wake up, it's the world.
I'd rather have like a Terminator situation because it's reality versus like, like how would you differentiate whether you're in a simulation or actually experiencing something tangible?
Yeah, we could be in one right now.
Yeah, that's what another thing that people have said, that like it could be a simulation, because a lot of people are talking about like it's conspiracy theories type shit, but a lot of like what we report as being like aliens are not even aliens, they're extra dimensional beings, and they've talked about how there's like this government program where they shoot people up with DMT. It's not even like they vaporize that shit. They're like giving them intravenous DMT and trying to get them to map the DMT realm. Like so that's interesting. It could be bullshit, like I saw somebody put something up about flat Earth on Facebook, and it was like, normally you see flat Earth shit and you'll be like, these motherfuckers are dumb as shit. But it was one of those ones where they were like, it was like, it had some title at the top, and it was versus the global cult, and it was like saying that like if you believe in the world being a sphere, like which we know from science, that you were part of the cult of the globe. Like, I was like, all right, hold on.
To be fair, it's not a sphere. It's more like a lump. It's kind of a lumpy, like egg type thing.
Well, like, so I looked at it for 2 seconds. I'm like, well, we all know this is fake. So like, then instead of looking up like what they believe, because it's going to be horseshit and conjecture, I just looked up flat Earth proven wrong, and it's like every scientific thing that they did to try to prove it was flat, and that would come up in a test and be like, burr, 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 burr.
I feel like George bringing up the flat Earth thing is because he couldn't do it when we had fucking Jay on the show, because it was like we had a very formidable.
Oh, I would have still kept going, but everybody looked nervous, like, oh, he's big.
He was massive. He was like 2 refrigerators, man. Like,
she was like, if he starts talking about
flat, but she did have him. She definitely was like pulling on the leash. She was like, yeah, go ahead, we can talk. Yeah, the gentleman that was on the show last, he was very, very large and formidable, and like something came up. I forget, something came up, and George was
I think I was making fun of flat earthers.
Yeah, you were making fun of flat earthers, and then and then his wife, who was the guest on the show, was just had something snarky to say about it. And then, but good on him. Yeah. Didn't back down. Didn't get aggressive. He didn't get aggressive either.
Yeah. I will give him that.
He was just very matter of fact about his opinion, and that's what it is, an opinion. And we kept going with it, and it was good. Now, his genius idea of the show was that, so Busted.com, right? Are you familiar with Busted.com?
No.
So Busted.com is a website / Facebook page that that broadcasts your mugshot and infraction of law should you have been in trouble with the law, because it's a public, it's all public record and all that shit. So these people have decided to capitalize on it, and basically the way they make money is through both advertising revenue, and you can pay them to not put your picture on if you're quick enough to get to them. Yeah. But anyways, I like to call it the TMZ of Front Royal. That's where you find out where everybody's like dirty laundry, like, oh shit, somebody, and you can profile people, like, when you see them, you're like, if it's gonna be narcotics, like wife beating, drunk driving, eluding. That was mine. Eluding. Yeah, I got a lead foot, bro. But it's kind of the thing. But we got the what were we talking about? Busted.com.
Oh, he was going to sponsor the show.
Oh yeah. He was going to sponsor as part of our show. And Jay, we're calling you out, bro. He was going to put up the bail money for somebody that's on Busted.com to come on the show and talk about their arrest experience. And like, I think it's a brilliant idea. Financially speaking, it's going to be, hard for us to do until we get some sponsorship. Hopefully, any bail bonds companies out there you want to sponsor you. That would be actually a good one for the bail bonds company.
No violent offenders.
Yeah, no sexual violent offenders.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it depends. It depends on the violence of the offense. If it's a rough hand job, okay.
So on like a street fight,
Oh yeah, well, we used to do a segment on me and Lita's old show called "Putting Child Molesters on Blast," And I think I might bring that back. Maybe we'll do that next week. Should we put child molesters on blast in Front Royal?
Absolutely. You need it. Like, the public should be aware.
So yeah, you're allowed, because I talked to our legal advice person, and I was told, yeah, you can totally read everything that's on the sex offenders list. Just don't say to do anything to them, and you'll be totally fine. Because the police want you to know like where they're at. That's why they made the whole fucking list.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there's definitely like one thing that we learned from doing that is that there are hubs or like neighborhoods where there are a shit ton of them, and I don't know if it's because it's like cheaper housing and they like obviously their family disowned them, or if it's like areas that are like, this is where we live.
The HOA advertises a weekly sword fight amongst the.
I know there was HUD housing in Manassas called, I think it was Old Centerville Gardens, and there was probably like 20 in that neighborhood alone. So anybody living in that apartment complex with kids should move the fuck out if they can.
I'm glad you're doing that next week, because this would have been a whole different episode if you did that this week. That's all I'm saying.
The only unfortunate thing about having to be on that list
Hoffman?
is if you get caught pissing behind a building in Virginia and you're towards the road and not towards the wall, or if anybody sees you, you're automatically on that list. So what we would do is go through their charges.
Yeah, we vet it out.
If they were just they were just like playground peers, that was one thing. But if they were some playground uncles, that was another thing.
Like keywords. Forced sodomy,
yeah,
shit like that.
Carnal knowledge,
carnal knowledge of a child.
And they give age ranges too, so you can go through it. So good on Virginia. One of the few things the police do right here.
Speaking of, man, are they still out? Can you see, Lita?
Oh
can you
yeah,
see can you see? Oh, say, can you see?
So if you know Front Royal, the studio is over by Martin's.
Martin's.
And it's hood adjacent.
I don't see no flashing lights anymore.
So I got home, and I noticed that there was a police presence down the block and an ambulance. And then Chris got here and was like, "Yo, there's a lot of fuzz outside." And I was like, "Still?" Because they were out there. I walked. Charlie came back in. They were still like 5 cop cars, and me and Chris sat there and sat on the porch, and I noticed 2 things. That there was a lot of lot of black foot traffic. The nosy walk came from all the way down the street. I've never seen so many pedestrians in the neighborhood.
I've never met so many of your neighbors in the year and a half of coming out here. I have not met
a dude on the bike with his daughter. Like came by and was like, "Yo, what happened?"
Yeah.
A raptor pulled up at the end of the street, parked the wrong way, and 2 people got out and walked up the slingshot. Yeah, the slingshot.
The slingshot, yes.
I thought it involved that. When I got here, it was like
yeah, right.
Yeah, he just parked damn near in the middle of the street.
Like, run somebody over or something. I didn't realize he was a gawker.
A bald older policeman was doing the serious walk. Walking around talking to people. They were talking to like people up and down the street. So I don't know if somebody got shot or somebody killed somebody, or if somebody OD'd and their friend was there with them. But they definitely, from what the neighbor said, they stretchered somebody out and another person came out in handcuffs.
My money's on OD.
Yeah, it sounds like OD.
I'm gonna take the underdog. I'm gonna say full out murder. Knife. We'll be able to look this up on Busted soon. Yeah,
dude. No shit. Exactly. There we go. Busted. It's not just the TMZ. It's the finger on the pulse of Front Royal.
We'll have an update next week on the episode.
I'm sure if we go on Warren County, like whatever, it'll.
Oh, dude, we
Warren County with PI Fox.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever wanted a police scanner.
Small town. That's one thing to be said about small towns. 100% the looky-loo culture is definitely in full effect, and I'm guilty of it to a certain extent. I won't lie to anybody about it, but yeah, it's crazy when it's crazy when you're scrolling through Busted and you're like, you're just looking at like a lot of people and you're like, oh yeah, and then it's your homie, and you're like, oh shit, dude.
I've only gotten a mugshot one time. It was in Dinwiddie County. I was like going down to do a remote show for the last radio show. And fucking got pulled over, and the dude I had a jar of weed that said pot on it. So like when he searched the car, he's like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we both know what that says on the side of it. It says pot.
Plead the fifth,
It says pot
motherfucker.
in big ass great letters. What the fuck?"
I would be like oregano.
Nah, like he was kind of cool because he let like a couple people have bowls on him and didn't have any weed. And he let them just chuck them in the woods off of 95, and they didn't get any charges. But I definitely had to go back down there, and I was wearing a suit, and this is how I knew that I was probably not going to get in too much trouble because I was wearing a suit and I had a lawyer, and fucking I sat down and I got like everything that like the lawyer told me to have, and this dude sits down beside me. He's like, "Yo, what's your advice?" And I was like, "I'm not a lawyer. What the fuck are you talking about?" So yeah.
But you look like Steven Seagal.
Nah, that's dude. I had a big ass suit. That's when I was probably like 340. That's when I was still big. I was like,
Dude, you were like big pun size.
oh, dude, I was bigger than that, dude. The biggest I ever was where I stepped on a scale was 420.
What?
Yeah. The biggest I ever was that I was at the Freedom Center in Manassas, and I had started working out, and I stepped on that scale, and I was like, "Yo, thank God I started working out. This could have been a shit show."
Did you know him at that point in time? So I gotta ask, how? Did you just eat a lot?
I ate a lot, and I was like athletic before that, so I always took in a lot of calories. And like I was never not athletic. I still like ran around and did shit. I was just big, and I was like way more muscular. I could pick up like I used to like squat like 700 pounds and shit. So like it was a lot of muscle, but there was a lot of like I was like almost like one of those fucking like not a bodybuilder, but a power lifter. Like I was like fucking stout as shit. I was big as fuck. But yeah, like then like once I was like over 400, there was a lot of like I'm gonna go to McDonald's because the hamburgers are 50 cents today. I'm gonna buy like 11 of them. So, but yeah,
huh?
And then jujitsu.
All right,
like that shit works. You can you can.
Well, no, I'm just saying like not how you lost the weight. I'm just like how you get to be. 420 pounds. That's a lot of that is a lot of person.
Yeah. Like it's definitely like there was probably some sedentary because I didn't like every sport I did was power based, so it wasn't like I had to do any cardio.
Short distance.
So, yeah, it was like either like playing like offensive or defensive line, or throwing a shot put, or wrestling. And wrestling, like I did Greco, so you just like basically bear hug people. You didn't really even like do double leg takedowns on people, so you didn't have to do a lot of that shit. But yeah, I'm glad I'm not that big because, like, dude, my knees hurt like a motherfucker like, when you're that big.
Man.
And actually, I will say this. When you're big, the biggest challenge, the thing that sucks is you have to wear clothes and you don't have a lot of choice in them. And at that time, the only clothing brands that made clothes that big that you can consistently get at Burlington Coat Factory were like FUBU and Rockaware. So I look like I only listen to fucking like hip hop. Like, so
Sean John.
Yeah, I had some Sean John.
Did you have any Snoop Dogg?
No, I had South Pole.
Oh, South Pole.
I had a lot of
Nietzsche?
jeans that were
Nietzsche?
there. Nah, but I had a lot of jeans that were like that weird, like almost metallic, like looking shit. So.
Oh my god! So, damn, dude, 420 pounds.
Yeah.
Lita, and I guess, and I mean this with the utmost respect to you and women everywhere. You gain like when you were bearing child.
Mm-hmm.
You obviously
my
you
biggest
gained
after the twins. I weighed
not after, but I mean, how big like did you get with? I would like when you were with child. Did you
210?
210. How much? Well,
that was with the twins.
No. That's
I weigh 140 now.
Really?
At my my normal weight,
yeah.
What the doctor wants me to be is 125. So I'm
You're doing fine for yourself.
Overweight right now.
What?
But,
Isn't that
by
weird?
20 pounds. But they go by your height and.
It's circumstantial. Okay. I have a dense bone structure. Okay. There was a roll of quarters in my pocket.
I know I saw a picture of you right before you gave birth to the twins, and that looked like you were fucking. It looked like a horror movie. There was like a lot of person in front of your person.
Yeah, like from the if you look at me at the sides, like from behind, it didn't look like I was big. But if I turned around, my stomach was like
you went like they were like on
torpedo.
top. They were on top, not side by side.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah, because you had. I was about to say with twins.
Yep, but it was all baby. It was gone.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, you
I was
definitely.
always really like when I was in high school, I weighed 105 pounds, I think. I
Oh,
was,
wow.
I was super skinny.
Okay, yeah.
I was really skinny.
Yeah, man. I gained at one point in time. I got up to like 240. I'm like 190 now. And this is back in college, and I tore up my knee, and then they put me on a bunch of pain pills. And like this is back in the year 2001, 2002.
Like, would you want some drugs?
Oh, my doctor was a dirty old lady. She was definitely like she was hooking it up, dude. Like she was definitely hooking it up. But so I was on the pain pills, and then I couldn't like really walk around or anything. And then my roommate was a manager at KFC, and he would bring home with regularity, not leftovers from the day or anything. He would come home. He would come through with bags of the frozen chicken products, and especially like when they had like specials, like in like limited edition stuff that came through. We'd always have like a bag of that in the kitchen, and we had 2 deep fryers. And we had the potato wedges back when KFC did the potato wedges. He'd bring those fucking home. Yes. So my ass was like on the Elvis Presley diet and exercise structure, where I was basically sitting. I sat on the couch. I watched all the Sopranos. I watched Oz. I was watching just TV playing N64, playing Ocarina of Time on Zelda, just popping fucking Percocets and eating KFC and skipping class like a motherfucker. But because I couldn't really work. I couldn't like get on my knees or whatever. And man, I got up to 240 pounds, so 50 pounds heavier than this. And dude, it was crazy, dude. Like I definitely like it was like I wish I could. Fortunately, this was before a time where everybody had camera phones. In fact, it was just when camera phones had just come out, like so nobody gave a shit to take a picture of me. And oh my god, yeah, I got up. It was like that was as big as I ever got. But I remember my stomach being like. At least it would have been like out to here. I think I had size C. I think I had size C titties. 100%.
Damn.
What about you, man?
What about me?
What about you? You ever been like super super fat?
I feel like what I'm at now.
Really? I like it.
You like me?
I like it like that. Man. It's hot.
No, I haven't.
My wife's a chubby chaser, by the way. Like she probably would think you're hotter than I am, so it works for
All
me.
right, good to know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. No, I feel like. Nah.
Were you ever really skinny?
Yeah, like.
Am I touching on a
freshman
sore subject?
No.
All right, I don't know, man. Hey, you never know, man. Like, we could like all of a sudden like see a single tear going down Eddie's face. Just like, ooh, struck a chord here. I don't know, man. I feel like George disclosed his weight loss journey, and with Lita talked about her childbearing one, and I discussed my drug-driven KFC ridden one. So I just wanted you to feel part of the the humility.
Yeah, for sure.
That's part of our show. We're humbling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how we get the word of Jesus Christ out to you. This is actually an evangelical show. It's
Hallelujah.
Lita Diamond is she's the she's the one you're gonna give the money to.
Yeah, I remember my freshman.
10%.
10% of your works and treasures.
Ooh,
And God will reward you kindly.
God,
You got to say it like tell them you need something too, because that's what these people on the televangelists do. So like name some. And then you got to say some reason like the devil. If I don't get this, the devil's gonna fucking take the babies.
You don't give 10%. You don't give tidings. God will punish you.
Yeah, we need like
God gonna come from on high and stab you in the pee hole if you don't get.
I need a
don't know how
Submariner
super
Rolex.
churches work, or how these people just
Oh,
they're
they're fucking. So I'll tell you how the evangelical church works. So it works much like you would think a regular church would. But you know how when you go to a regular church, they aren't selling tapes of past services up front. That's your first tip off that it's one of these fucking weirdo evangelical churches that are like a money scheme. If they say they're connected to any of those, it reminds me of martial arts, because like when you have martial artists, they have like satellite schools that like they come and they like teach at and they like award their black belts. Same thing with the evangelical church. the one like last one that my parents went to before they moved was connected to Kenneth Copeland because they had people from like Kenneth Copeland's church come over, and I was like, yo, this dude is gonna be rich. And then one day the preacher showed up and he was driving a brand new Cadillac, and I was like, I'm not going anymore. They stealing my parents' money. But in honor of the Pope dying, we're going to talk about religious movies, right?
Yes, but it's not religious movies that you would like. You're not gonna find Exorcist on this list.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
I didn't think
Sorry.
Exorcist was going to be on any list.
What about
Fucking-
Beaches?
That's
That's the scariest movie I've ever
childish
seen.
shit. I am no sweet summer child. I know my movies, and these are movies that are like obscure, but also good. Some of them old. Actually, most of them are super old. So, are you gonna do the fucking song or
I'm
what?
trying,
dude? You are
goddamn.
slow as shit. God damn. Hello. Hello. Welcome to my thing. This schmutz over here. Anyways.
Schmutz.
I'm going to talk about movies that are sort of religious, kind of. Anyways, I have 5 of them. I had to do this on a whim because I don't usually watch these kind of like horror movies. I'm more of a like it needs to be, you know, thought provocative or whatever that word is. Anyway, the first one is Alice, Sweet Alice. Does anybody remember this movie? Because I sure as hell do. This was Brooke Shields' debut film. She was only like 10 years old in the movie. Came out in 1976. Directed by Alfred Sale. Brooke Shields' debut. A spoiled 12-year-old murders her younger sister during her first Holy Communion, and her parents' lives sort of unravel. It is a very, very disturbing movie. It was like one of the first like sort of horror, like holy horror movies that I'd had ever seen before. And it definitely shows a really, really gross, nasty, perverty guy getting killed by this girl, which is satisfying. But she also kills her sister during her first Holy Communion. Great film. If you haven't seen it before, definitely check it out. I do believe it's on Prime.
And they just from this trailer, they released a new 4K version of it.
See? It is a decent movie.
And they just showed the pervert dying. They had him strapped down by his neck.
The next one, Fallen, 1998, directed by Gregory Hoblet. Homicide detective witnesses the execution of Reese, a serial killer, and soon after he dies, killings start again that mimic Reese's style. Denzel Washington.
Denzel.
The devil? Are you going to get...
Sexiest man alive plays the detective in this film. I like it. It's not like
Quick question.
the typical Catholic Church type movie, but it is religious.
The
It's
devil
got
ain't
religious-
got shit on me.
Exactly. So, what's your question,
Denzel or Arnold?
Arnold?
That's all right. So I just want to
Arnold
clarify.
Schwarzenegger.
All right, I was like, I want to make sure we're on the same level. All right, like you said, Denzel, and then I just want to make sure we still.
I saw a clip the other day for totally forgot about in UHF when they had Conan the Librarian.
Yes, dude.
That's awesome. All right. Number 3, The Seventh Sign, 1988. That was directed by Carl Schultz. Quinn is eagerly awaiting the birth of her first child, but she's haunted by dreams of a stillbirth. She soon realizes that a chain of events being unleashed is the mark of the end of humanity. It is a very good movie, and it is also sort of like coincides with the Catholics' beliefs of end of times, the birth of a stillborn child.
Totally forgot about this movie.
Is the end. It's the last thing. When there's no souls in heaven, then that soulless child is born, and there it is. It's the apocalypse, and it's like raining blood and brimstone and all that shit. I love this movie.
I have it on
love
VHS.
Demi Moore is up in this
It's
joint.
one of the I like it because it's not like a crazy like it's not like Exorcist. You don't see people walking backwards or stupid shit like that. This is
Your mother sucks cock in hell.
it's a really I liked it. It's pretty good. All right, number 4, Case 39. That's 2009. directed by Christian Alvert. So, a social worker fights to save a girl from abusive parents, only to discover that the girl herself is dangerous and possibly the fucking Antichrist. So, I like this movie. Like it. What's her name? Renee Zellweger.
Zellweger.
Yeah, it's like one of her only like horror films that she ever did.
Dude, I don't even think I've seen this.
Yeah, it's really good. I liked it, and that little girl is fucking evil. All right, number one. Does anybody guess what number one's gonna be? It's not something that you're gonna know.
Oh man, we're not gonna know it.
And it's religious.
Is it something I would know? Possibly?
Is it about the Catholic Church, or is it about a church?
No, it's
Constantine.
not about a church.
Serpent in the Rainbow.
No.
Legion.
No. Although that's a good one. I should have put that one on there.
Yeah, Paul Bettany
Yeah,
is dreamy.
that's a really good one. All right, it is Mother.
Oh.
Yes. So I love this movie because like not a lot of people get like the kind of symbolisms behind it. 2017,
fucked up.
directed by Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah,
I think that's how you say his name. A couple's relationship is put to the test when uninvited guests arrive at their home, disrupting their tranquility. But their tranquility is sort of like an illusion, and I don't want to spoil a movie for anybody that you know what. Fuck you guys. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm about to spoil it.
Dude,
it's the devil. And the devil does stupid shit to get this girl to give her soul, her heart. So, watch the movie. It's really good and it's disturbing.
There is so many anxiety. Like it reminds me of the way that when you're dreaming, all of a sudden shit will totally just shift.
Yeah.
And there's these points where she walks into like different rooms. And all of a sudden, it's like, what the fuck? Like, it goes from being like an empty room to a room full of people. Like,
right.
That level of jarring, like, and it's, I don't want to say it's constant, but like, you don't know that it's, like, if you watch that movie and you don't know what it's about, like, you just think it's going to be a regular horror movie. It is fucking.
Right. And Michelle Pfeiffer, I mean, she's just absolutely crazy and also gorgeous in this movie. Like, she stuck at it.
Aronofsky makes weird movies, and Javier Bardem is fucking, yeah.
Yes. Good movie. Check it out if you haven't. Usually I mention this movie during the Mother's Day because, you know, Mother's Day does have, there's quite a few horror movies that kind of revolve around moms, and this would be one of them, but I thought it would be pertinent to add it to this list because it's actually about the devil taking a woman's soul.
You know, it's a kind of a clowny movie, but it is kind of cool how they depict some parts of it. That movie Constantine. Have you seen that where they show hell?
Yeah.
Like that, I was like, that's kind of cool because it's like super windy, so it's cold, but you're on fire. Like, I wouldn't say like the whole movie's awesome. It is kind of cool when he hits fucking Gavin Rossdale with that shit and his face like crinkles, and he looks like it looks like a broken egg with a demon underneath of it.
Man, I actually have that movie on my nightstand right now, and I watched it last week. And I was gonna say between Legion and Constantine, but
Legion is the shit. That
Legion.
old lady in the beginning is
Yeah.
fucking.
That shit is wild. But in Constantine, I like, man, what's that scary looking lady who looks like an alien that like, you know, kind of sexy alien.
Tilda Sweden.
Yeah, the sexy alien dude.
Yeah, she plays Michael, like, because he's androgynous and yeah.
She's also she's like the leader in that movie, The Beach. Man, dude, that chick is scary to me. Like she's somebody that visibly scares me.
Oh, dude, she's in the Marvel movie. She plays the ancient one for
Exactly.
Doctor Strange, and like a lot of people flipped out because it's like supposed to be an older Asian man, and it's like a woman who's like European in the movie. But she does such a good job. Like if they read the comic books at all and then saw her, they'd be like, yeah, that's the ancient one. What the fuck are you talking about? Like it's like she's spot on perfect.
Yeah, she's scary as fuck, dog.
Oh yeah, dude.
You put her in a weird, the ancient one sounds scary. Needs you to be somebody to be scary for that.
It is awesome in Constantine when like she sees Satan and she's like, fallen one. like it's like the way a weird angel would yell at another angel.
Yeah.
I liked her in that movie We Need to Talk About Kevin.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a very good movie.
Dude. So what's the worst religious movie? Is it Exorcist for you? Or is it like the Exorcism of Emily Rose?
That one was good.
You know what?
I liked it. I liked that it was based on a true story, and the actress in that movie, she actually does all that contorting herself.
Oh,
it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like CGI. She did that herself. So I think it was well made because it was believable.
I think the worst one is the Pope's Exorcist. It's got like Russell Crowe in it. And
Oh, yeah,
it's like
that was-
shit is, he has the worst fake Italian accent in the movie.
So bad. So bad.
That
So
one's
bad.
that one makes Exorcist look like a fucking one of the greatest movies ever. I think The Exorcist is good, but it's definitely pretty dated, and like a lot of the shocking stuff isn't as shocking.
Right.
It's like when the first time I saw Clockwork Orange, and everybody was like, "It's fucking the most controversial," and I watched it, and I was like, "Yeah, this is just like it's a
Yeah.
wild ass R-rated movie."
I will give a notable mention because like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Come on.
End of Days.
End of
Yeah,
Days,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
End of Days, fantastic
Yeah,
movie as
that's
well.
a
I
good
actually
one.
that was a good one. I might actually watch that tonight.
Yeah.
I need to watch an Arnold movie.
Yeah.
Arnold
It's
movies are
perfect.
my like.
Perfect like religious one.
Yeah.
My fallback is always Conan, the first one.
Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, hear the lamentations of their women.
That
Ah.
when I was little, that was one of the mini movies like Aliens and like a bunch of movies that would show on Channel 5 and Channel 20, and like they would show a lot of the stuff in the Conan movie, like when James Earl Jones turns into a serpent. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. They didn't show the other cool stuff, or not cool stuff, but when they would just be like, "Hey Arnold, here's a girl to bang," like, that scene was cut from the movie.
Like, come and look at my loincloth. It raises for you.
I want to hear your lamentation. Oh, fuck. All right.
Yeah, so that's my list. Hit us up in chat if you have something religious, like a religious movie that you want to talk about or give a shout out to. Because, like, I don't, like, again, I say I don't really watch those type of horror movies. They just bore me.
Lunar Sprunk has been in here saying things. He was like, some people called him the woke pope.
Was that a thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there was a lot of people that were like, he wasn't conservative enough for them.
Oh, no, I know that. I mean, he definitely was. Like, I think we were talking about this yesterday. You know, so to make the falling subscription rate, they needed to figure out, you know, where they could, you know, save some points. But yeah, dude, that's yeah, dude, the woke pope. See now, but here's the thing: if they end up getting a brown or black pope this time, they can't use that term. So, you know, he took it for the team.
Dude, fucking Lunar Sprunk also says, "Are y'all globalists? I bet y'all sheep will all wash your hands after you poo." Shakes my head.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Confident motherfucker.
Oh, all right. So every week I'm going to bring you a crazier and crazier conspiracy theory, and they're all coming from the same source. Did you know Wendy's?
Mhm. Dave Thomas.
Dave Thomas is, you know, Wendy. That isn't her real name. Her real name is Miranda, but her brothers and sisters couldn't produce her name, so they called her Wanda. That doesn't sound like short for Wendy. Sounds like it's short for Wendigo.
I
Yeah.
don't know where you're going with this.
So yeah, that's what I
Is
thought when I
this
read
a
it.
self-produced conspiracy theory?
No. This is it was attached to a video, so that like this video is saying that like somehow Wendy's is part of.
Did you
the,
see
the
this
global
on a certain somebody's?
Yo, yes, I did.
Okay. Okay.
Every week I'm gonna put these up, but yeah, apparently Wendy's is Wendy's because of her hair being red is connected to the global child molesting cabal. So don't eat, and everything's fresh there. That's code. That's globalist code.
You can get a child kit, like a kid's meal, for like $3.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's made from kids.
And it's cheap, and my kid loves it. And they actually have like toys instead of like a little book.
Yo, yeah,
Like,
dude. They give you
fucking-
like
what
2 or
is
3
up-
toys.
What is up with like the fast food place? Like all their kids' meals are just like a little book. Man, my little kid's gonna rip that in fucking half and be like, "Where's the toy?"
Yeah, like I-
no,
yeah, Wendy's knows what's up.
yeah. Wendy's still gives out little toys, like actual.
I stand beside the Thomas family.
You know, speaking of giving out little toys, I want to give a big thank you to the mama bear of this den.
Yes, everybody gets a basket, even if it's just a little egg.
She made
the
a special eggs. We have of this egg. It has some jelly beans in it, which I'm gonna be saving for later. But within this egg, we have a very special egg here, and it is. I'm trying to open one, and she gave one to each one of us. It is. A
middle finger.
It's a middle finger, and it was. This is so cool. I'm gonna add this to my Penosaurus collection.
They're freshly printed.
They are freshly
Lita
printed.
3D prints the coolest shit. It's Dickosaurus and middle fingers.
Next is gonna be the Gloctopus. Yeah.
The best part about all of them is if you're like they could be sex toys for you if you're brave enough. You know?
Anything's a sex toy if you're brave enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody gets a little something something. I actually made my twins, my 18-year-old twins, I made them Easter baskets.
Oh.
And Adam's like, "Don't you think they're a little fucking old for that?" I'm like, "No."
Dude,
no, you always get like the magic doesn't end just
dude,
because
my mom got me one, I think, when clearing the Lily being like fucking like 2 or 3. She would like at least like give me something. I'd be like, "Mom, what the fuck are you doing?"
Right.
Like, but that's part of being a mom.
Yeah, the magic doesn't end when you grow up. Like, can you imagine if like some of these fucking tired ass people that are ruining the country, if their moms gave them hugs normally and gave them baskets, like maybe they wouldn't be so fucked up in the head, you know? Like maybe they'd be a little bit more kind and have a little bit more empathy for their fellow man.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
yeah, stop smelling flowers. Give your neighbor a hug. Fuck off.
Kumbaya and stuff.
Yeah.
Live and let live.
Oh.
Unless you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And you get suplexed. Coming up in the next couple weeks, we're gonna have Abe Musavi. It's gonna be on the show in May. I think that's when he's talking about it.
All the way gay May with Abe.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
He's former. I do believe, I don't want to say he was Special Forces, but he definitely served in Afghanistan, and he was all geared up. So now he's
greased up.
Now he's a comedian and a prolific photographer.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, he is.
Oh, speaking of that, dude, the person that took that picture of my kid, I was fucking randomly watching the UFC on a Saturday afternoon, and she was in the fucking cage.
All right, that's like.
So yeah, that's awesome to see your friends on TV. I was like, that's Taylor. She takes pictures of my kid.
It sucks if they're on like America's Most Wanted or.
It's. Oh, dude, we got enough time for the story. Sure. I remember one time they used to have this show called Forgive or Forget with Mother Love, and I was up late. I was probably doing fucking acid, and I was watching it, and I was like, well, let's see what the show's about. And I'm not even kidding. The girl from high school was on this show, right? So she had cheated on her male friend. She had slept with her male friend's wife. And at the end of the episode, they have you stand in front of a door, and you were like, "Will you forgive me?" And then you open the door, and there's either somebody there or somebody not, and he was not at that door.
He missed an opportunity here. I feel like
she was what they call now a stud. So
I mean, still.
Well, I think she would have been the man in every facet of their relationship.
I mean,
well, he didn't seem like he was the type
like
of dude.
That woman's fantasy of two men, sort of. You know? kind of.
It's just gay enough.
Saying.
Just straight enough.
Exactly.
Whatever it is.
Maybe he was just afraid that she gonna walk in the room. She's like, "I got my strap on."
Yeah. Get the strap on.
Some dudes aren't into that. Some are. Some aren't.
Not for me.
You ever seen a dude that's really afraid of it? Like his girlfriend grabs his ass and he's like, "Hey!" I've definitely seen that shit. I'm like, "Yo, bro, what happened to you?"
I orgasm easily.
It's one or the other. Either stop, we're in public.
Never seen that.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it. Like when I was growing up, I automatically was like, "Whoa, bro, that's a big response." Like she just grabbed your cheeks.
Already.
Yeah. I'm still sore.
Ooh.
She made him cry.
All right, Eddie. What do you have coming up for comedy?
Coming.
Coming.
I actually got a copy of Pumping Iron today. Comedy.
Gonna be performing tomorrow, I think, hopefully, at the Riff Mic at the Electric Palm in Woodbridge.
Yes. You won the last time.
Spot. Yeah.
He was the reigning champion of the Riff Mic.
Very true, very true. Love the Riff Mic, great time. Also another good one is Shevitz Witchard's Mic out in Stonebridge. Fantastic. So I'll be probably hitting that up. And that's it for right now, but hell yeah.
Chris.
Let's see. What do I got coming up? I'm gonna be getting out next week to the Give a Hoot in Gaithersburg.
Yeah. I'll be trying to hit that up too.
Yeah, what you did? Did you email him?
Yeah.
All right, then did they email you back yet or no?
No.
I'll text them. But that's we're gonna be out there next Wednesday. Isaac and I are for sure. Maybe Eddie. I don't know if he's cool enough. We'll figure it out. Now, and we'll be, Catamount Lounge on Monday nights. I want to say thank you to Tina for this bitchin' set of dice that she got for me on her excellent adventure with Eddie. Actually went to Atlantic City with Tina this weekend.
Yes.
They almost eloped, but then he got intimidated by her strap-on, so that was a wrap. But no, they went. Yeah, shout out Neve. I was on Neve's podcast this week. Actually,
How did that go?
It was super fun, man. It's called the Forlorn Podcast. I think it comes out tomorrow on YouTube. That was really fun. So shout out to my girl Neve Suit. I thought her last name was pronounced Sweet because it's spelled Sweet, and I think it's a missed opportunity. She's just rebranded as Sweet, but it was a good ass time. We had fun. Shout out to Eddie for coming out here today. This was cool. Giving me chlamydia. Really appreciate that. Shout out to George for producing the show. Lita, I gave you your thanks for the middle finger. One. Tina for these dice. My mom for life. And I don't know, my dad for being a cool dude, and everybody else. My daughter for being awesome. I think that's everybody that I need to shout out. Shout out. Oh, I forgot this one. Yo, I forgot to show you. Did I show you this guy's last time? Shout out to Alan Young, our guest on the last show, who hooked me up with this caviar key. I have a caviar key now. That's tight. I forgot to say thank you to him last time, so I just want to make sure I got that in.
The caviar key.
Caviar key. Yeah. Hey, it's how you open up caviar jars. Very cool chef to chef thing. Thank you to Lita again for the middle finger that looks like conveniently would fit in my pee hole. All right, I'm done.
Lita, you have so much coming up.
Yes, actually, I do. You guys should make your way out to the Virginia Wine and Craft Festival this year, May 17th. It's going to be here in Front Royal. Hopefully, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. Come find me. You'll see the little silly snail, and well, that is odd. Come buy my weird shit and my art. I have lots of horror stuff coming up. I am actually working on this lovely picture right here. Here it is. It's not done yet.
That fits one of your best-selling and largest canvases.
Yes. Last year, that was the Midsummer May Queen. She sold for sweet $300.
I mean, that was a magnificent, like mixed media.
Yeah, it was a very beautiful piece, and I often maybe I should do it again, but no, because then it wouldn't be unique. So I actually have a few large pieces that I'm going to be displaying. Lots of new stuff. I have like a little tiny Roadrunner skeleton that I'm going to be selling. It's going to be in a nice little display. I got some silly snails because I know some people like the silly snails. I even have Christmas tree ornaments, skull ones with little minks if you like that kind of thing. So yeah, find my tent, buy my stuff. Also support the local artists and vendors there because they work really hard all year for this.
Yeah, there's gonna be lots of good food, all kinds of stuff down there.
You want like cool, creepy decor. Don't wait for Halloween to buy your shit off of Michael's or some dumb stuff. Just come to my tent or any of the vendors that are selling unique things and get your decor there. Decor.
Get your dicker there.
Yeah. You can also follow me on social, on my socials. Alola on loan for my regular page on Instagram, or well, that is odd, all _. You can find my portfolio there, and you can gawk at my goods.
Follow me at Eddie_comedy on everything. Just want to throw that in.
Well, follow me outside. How about that? Chris K Comedy, Christopher Allen Kenworthy. Otherwise, busted.com. Possibly tomorrow morning for lewd conduct.
We'll have updates next week on the situation outside the studio. We'll have a definitive answer, probably provided by busted.com.
Yeah.
And go over to Capital Mixed Martial Arts, CapitalMMA.com. 8 local locations, newest one in Herndon. Check them out. Learn how to strangle some people. And if you're in Front Royal, I'm actually going to be doing a martial arts self-defense class. I've got a lot of interest, so there's going to be one. I am not going to charge. I'm not going to charge anybody any fucking money, because that self-defense stuff is that's what you should do as a martial artist, is teach other people how to defend themselves. If you want to take classes and learn how to fight, it's a whole different story. But yeah, get at me if you want to get added to the list. There's a lot of people that want to learn some stuff. My daughter will be there, so it'll be more centered towards females. So you'll get to see my daughter toss the shit out of me if you go. So watch out for watching me get beat up and playing the role of an asshole while teaching people how to stop motherfuckers from grabbing them. Stab that motherfucker in the dick hole. Dirtbag Radio. I got to change my social, because that's not a show anymore. But
you can still find some of those podcasts.
Oh yeah, they're still
look
up.
them up.
And you get me and Tim's prank phone calls are still up. So check that out if you want to. And what else? There was something else I was gonna say. God damn it! I shouldn't have got stoned. Fuck. I don't know. I'll remember it 4 minutes after the show's over. It's your week. Suplex that shit. You can do it. Make world. God damn it. I want to remember what the fuck I was going to say.
Penis.
No, it wasn't that.
Wasn't that
Oh,
important?
see Paul Genicola this week at Catamount Lounge.
The same thing. Penis. Paul Genicola, same thing. Sorry, I love Paul. Eat my mains. The Catamount Lounge at 124 East Main Street.
Yeah, last week
Front
you
Royal,
gave it out
Virginia.
like 14 times.
That's the Catamount Lounge.
Oh, also, Lunar Sprunk. This is actually what I was going to say. Lunar Sprunk said in the chat, y'all like Wendy's.
Yeah, we like Wendy's.
Do you like Wendy's?
Fuck, man.
Wendy's nuts hit your chin.
Man.
That's what they were going for.
I know.
Lame.
Lames. All right. Remember,
She redid all of it. Every last thing.
the mother trailer's still playing.
Back into every room.
You happy?
I love you.
All right.
2 fingers in the butthole is better than 1 finger in the pee hole.
Bye-bye.
For real.